The mission of the Duluth Seaway Port Authority is to bring business to the port, economic development to the region, and to advocate for the maritime and transportation industries. The Duluth Seaway Port Authority owns and operates the one publicly owned and one general cargo or break bulk terminal on the lakes. The largest port by tonnage on the Great Lakes, and it is the furthest inland port on the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway system. We also operate an intermodal terminal on our Clear Public Marine Terminal. The Duluth Seaway Port Authority and the St. Paul Port Authority we both are part of the Minnesota Ports Association, and so we join forces to represent the interests of Minnesota's ports before the state legislature. We are both sort of the two largest ports in the state. Of course, the St. Paul Port Authority represents the biggest river port, and we are the largest tonnage port on the Great Lakes. And they also advocate for the transportation industries and bringing especially the river port. So we have very parallel missions. I'll tell you, every year we make a plan to go before the legislature to ask for funding for port infrastructure. Port infrastructure is incredibly important. We need to keep commodities moving on our waterways, and that requires not just fixing seawalls and direct port infrastructure, but also we also advocate for road and a port is not a port without excellent road and rail, and so we're also on the lookout for what will strengthen the access to the ports from the land side as well. We together advocate for the Port Development Assistance Grant Program funding from the Minnesota Department of Transportation. It funds port infrastructure on public ports. I really do appreciate the synergy between the port authorities, but especially between the St. Paul Port Authority and the Duluth Seaway. It's a very effective way to tell the port story, to have the biggest river port in the state, and then the largest port on the Great Lakes, telling the state the importance of, telling the legislature the importance of port infrastructure and what the ports mean to commerce within the state, and what it means to to shipping internationally, to accessing international markets. It's really effective to have those two voices together at the table at the legislature telling that story.